Hey guys, what's up? This is Shark talking. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about auto-safe and fast farming for episode 2, chapter 1. And there are some things I want to discuss before we go into the stages. The first things are, this episode is super easy for the first part, but the second part is very hard. Some people will find some problems trying to farm the latest stage because they have the highest caps. And I do suggest you to not focus just on the latest stages, because they are hard, they need specific units, and if you want to farm and bring some of your past characters up to useful status, you can farm the first stages, and I'll be explaining how you do this. So let's start with the first one. This one is super ultra easy. I believe it's like one of the easiest farming stages where you can bring a lot of trainees. Trying to reduce their agility, bring full body equipment that decrease agility, or some other gears like the stone clogs. So for the first stage, I am using the Rainbow Rangers formation so I can increase the STR for Asellus and intelligence for Barthélemy. My Asellus have the Myriam skill on 8 PP, Mirage Step on 4, and for my Barthélemy, I have Abyssal Hands on 11, Heatwind Maxed and on 4. The thing here is that Barthélemy will always attack first, and then my Asellus will just attack second, and they both will be enough to clear the waves. So the first wave, we have enemies that are weak to Slash and Move, and Barthélemy will start with Heatwind, and then Whirlwind will be enough to kill them. Very simple, it's a row of enemies. The second one is not a row anymore, but now Asellus has a full AoE attack. Heatwind goes first, and then Mirage Step goes second. And the last wave has a combination of enemies weak against Blunt, Sun, but it's enough for Barthélemy to finish with Heatwind. Sun and Heat. Second strategy is based on Madeline on the front of a Tiger Shark formation, with her skills number 1 and 2 fully awakened and maxed. And in the back we have our Judy. Judy also has everything maxed. I'm wearing the best equipment. So Madeline will probably be faster than Judy because she does not lose agility on this formation. She can finish the first wave just fine by herself. Then on the second one she needs extra help, but Judy is already using her AoE attack. They use 8 BP. I also suggest you to increase the BP cost of her third skill if you awaken at that, unless she will just use a single target attack. If you want, you can also use the Rainbow Rangers and place Judy where I was using Barthélemy. This one is more to guarantee that Madeline always go first. Well, see, on the same stage I have another strategy, but this one can be a little of a problem because Madeline wins over Asellus on speed, and you have to be careful to give more agility to Asellus and less agility to your Madeline. Here, I am using some equipment that decreases her agility so that she acts after Asellus. The things are still the same, and also bringing Polka weapon. So the secret here is that Asellus has to go first so that she can finish this wave by herself. Yes. And all they will work super fine. Mirage Step and then Flashing Light. This strategy is for those that don't have any other mage that could help finishing here faster. Yeah. Another strategy that you can bring 3 trainees. Now for the last strategy, I have 2 mages here, Bart and Rouge. They are pretty nice for the stage here. As you can see, I'm bringing the best equipment to Rouge, and I also have the second best equipment on my Barthélemy. All of their skills are maxed, but I have Abyssal Hands on 11, and for Rouge I'm inheriting Energy Storm, Raging Gust is on 13. So here it doesn't really matter who goes first or later. Heatwind is never enough to kill the first wave. Also, usually it's better for your Rouge to go first so that Barthélemy can use Abaddon Hands on turn 2. And now we move to the second stage. This one has some Awaken and Forge materials. On the stage I'm bringing Madeline and Byunei. Byunei in the Rainbow Rangers formation for Intelligence slot and Madeline for STR slot. They have some different setups here. Byunei, you have 360 Delta on 11. So this stage I don't recommend you farming. I suggest you to stick on the first one, because here you have two enemies that are not so close to each other. You also have enemies that have very high speed on the second wave. So if you don't go things according to your plans, they may waste too much time. But Byunei kind of finished the second wave by herself, pretty nice. And Madeline, you just finish the last one. At least the back row enemies, they both have very high agility, so they work fine. If you have the two and you don't have the combinations for the first stage, you can use this one. Now we move to the third stage. This one has an axe as a drop and also awakening materials. This axe is better than the ones we had in the past, so I suggest you farming. My strategy here is to bring Blue and Barthélemy and the Anima String formation. We have Storm Burst on 13, Heat Wave inherited, so he uses it twice in a row and then finish with Light Ball. For Barthélemy we have Abaddon Hands on 11 and he will just keep using Heat. As you can see, the enemies here are weak against the 3 elementals, Cold, Lightning, and the buddies are weak against Heat as well. There are some enemies that will appear in a single wave and then others will appear in another wave. Here we have one enemy that's only weak against Heat, so that's the reason why I'm bringing this combination. The last wave we have more diversity again. But Hooligan is also weak against Heat, so having 2 Heat attacks in the last wave helps. Well, sometimes you won't have Heat, you have just Light Ball. A second possible strategy is to bring Barthélemy and Madeline. Barthélemy in the Int slot and Madeline in the STR slot for Rainbow Rangers formation. Because Madeline hits for Lightning, we'll be doing more damage to the Viper and also to the Hooligans. In the second wave, you have enough BP to unleash Abaddon Hands that will probably finish these enemies. Yes. This is even faster than the first strategy. The Flash Lightning will not kill the plants. Yeah, we need Heat Wing to finish. But still pretty fast. You can bring 2 Trainees again. Now we go to stage number 4, the same equipments, similar strategies. As you can see, we can still bring Anima String with both Blue and Barthélemy. So here we'll find enemies weak against magical attacks and some others against the 3 elementals, being Heat, Cold, and Lightning. Here they are weak against all types of elemental attacks. ScherBR also works here, but I do believe that it's not needed. This strategy is also super ultra fast. Any type of magical attack will work here. It's even easier to find a correct setup than the past stage. So another strategy is to bring Madeline and Galahad in the Dragoon Strike formation. Galahad has all of his skills awakened, at least Chilly Breeze and Winter Storm, their matters. And Madeline has the first and second one maxed. They are using the best equipments that can use right now. 3 Trainees again. And Madeline is always faster than Galahad. She can clear the first wave by herself. Galahad will then use his fast AoE attack on the second wave. And Madeline will probably finish the last wave by herself. Sometimes you use combos, but it was totally not needed. Here, the last wave, Madeline can sometimes clear by herself. It will depend on your power. Very close. Okay, now the next stage is not needed. It's a very bad place to farm since the enemies don't have weaknesses and you cannot speed up your farming. Then we go to the second part, and then we will go to the first stage, this one here. On this stage you'll be able to farm 2 weapons, so you probably will spend a lot of time here. You can get this new hammer and this new gun. They are also better than the ones we had in the past. So this strategy here has Galahad in the front of a Rainbow Rangers formation. Then I have Blue using agility slot, and intelligence slot goes to Barthélemy. I will try to finish with Galahad, but in order to do so I have to get Winter Storm to 16 BP, and then I will have blue with Stormburster 13, okay, Heat Wave on 6 by inheritance. Barthélemy will not start with Abaddon Hands, he will start with Heat Wind. Just a reminder, you can use Myriam instead of either Barthélemy or blue. So the two will be able to clear the first wave by themselves. On the second wave, they will need to be together again. And the last wave, we have Galahad using Interstorm. He will just finish everything by himself. Doesn't really need to be a combo, he will just do very high damage here. So no enemy will attack you, and that's a very good point for you to farm some weapons. So after the stage here, I will not recommend you farming the next one, because the enemies here are dangerous. They attack 2 times and they can use Feral Pulse, one of the cursed attacks from this game. So let's just jump to 1.2.3, and we'll be talking about this because we have one of the best status cap. So first I will explain an all-out formation that, well, will just work, because you are just bringing the best in slot for every type of slot on your Rainbow Rangers formation. I have Princess Ray on agility slot, I have a Christmas Monika here on Dex. You can bring the new Monika, it's even better, but you have to fully awaken her skills number 2 and 3. And Liz on the Int slot, Galahad on the STR slot, and my Madeline on the Love, because, well, she don't have any space left. You actually don't need Monika, can be any type of pierce damage dealer. Galahad is needed here, and also Liz, I also recommend Liz. And Green Reaper will sometimes kill the boss, but not always. You want to kill it before Liz attacks, so you can save her attacks. Yeah, very nice. Now on the second wave, Galahad will be able to insta-kill these 2 enemies with Winter Storm. But in order to reach this damage, you need level 42 at least. And also Winter Storm needs to be at least close to 85. Yeah, Stingray, AoE attack. Well, you see that she used Dragon Fury on that enemy. Sometimes she will use on the wrong enemy. It's very hard to control your agility when you have 5 units on your squad. Now Liz will just finish it with her Dragon Fury attack. Yes. So the second strategy is similar but a little different. I am using Dragon Strike formation, and I don't have many pierce damage dealers. I'm missing Hannibal, I am missing the Musical Festival Brownie, Christmas Cordelia, a lot of good attackers. So I have Faerie and Liz. We have Liz here with Dragon's Fury, and she will be on the back. Okay, so first enemy will bring some problems. Well, we still have to finish with Liz. Started Shot opens, then Flash Lightning, Shield Breeze, and Dragon's Fury is the last one. What I'm doing here is that I want my Galahad to attack on the last wave instead on the second. Well, Winter Storm is here. And yeah, and now this is the last bass formation because it only needs 3 characters, but it's also the most hardest one to make. Well, you still have to use Galahad on the STR slot, and then we have this version of Monika on the Dex slot. But it should have been the next one, the current global exclusive Monika. But she uses 10 BP on the opener, and then she has to use Stingray on the 3rd wave. Since I cannot fully awaken Stingray yet, what I'm doing is to bring this version of Monika, since her Southern Cross is already maxed, and then Stingray is used on the last wave. Okay, so the thing here is that Liz has to be the last one to attack. Again, like always. Chilly Breeze, now Dragon's Fury. No worries, because Monika will just finish the enemy. Now on the second wave, or Galahad will just finish everything by himself. Now last wave. We have 2 AoE attacks with Galahad and Monika. Stingray, okay. Shitty Breeze. And then Liz will just finish with Dragon's Fury. But guys, you have to do what I'm saying. Liz will sometimes conflict with Monika. You have to decrease her agility and increase Galahad agility to max. I had to get hidden agility with Galahad because he was just so slow that he was never going before my Liz. But after a while, testing and changing equipment, it worked. So the only really important characters here are Liz and Galahad. You can replace this Monika, or actually this Monika, because this one is the correct one to use. Just remember, you have to bring Stingray and Dazzling Ballet maxed. The replacement can be Faerie. This Faerie inheriting Stardust Shot, or just this one using Stardust Shot so that she uses twice. Another option can be Sarah, so Phoenix Arrow should be on 10, and Rapid Volley should be on 6. And Fuse also works, so he goes with Proton Rocket, and then on the last wave he uses Submachine Gun. And the last one is Emelia, so that she uses a Sweet Trap on the first wave and Random Shot on the last one. So you have to increase Random Shot to 7 BP for this to work. There's also another strategy that uses both, well, pierce attacks and blunt attacks. You have to bring your best gunners, in my case is Emelia and Fuse. Emelia has a particular case where she has to use Sweet Trap, max it, and Random Shot on 7 BP. And for Fuse we just go with the standard Proton Rocket on 10 and Submachine Gun on 6. I have some specific setup for my Claudia, since she is an insta-killer because of her Assassin's Arrow. I have to leave her Starry Rain on 10 and Rapid Volley on 6. Same thing for Assassin Arrow, so that she only uses Starry Rain and Assassin Arrow on the last wave. Okay, so Claudia has lower agility by staying on this position, but she's still so fast that she may even attack before the others. I don't know what I just say. So Starry Rain will paralyze the target, but well, I just want to finish with Sweet Trap now. Fuse can also finish by insta-kill, doesn't really matter. He will just use his insta-kill attack now. Now on the last wave, you have to attack the boss with Claudia. Hopefully she does not get in the front of other characters. Okay. Yeah. It didn't insta-kill the target, but... well... sometimes it will fail. Depending on who you are bringing on the back, it will finish the wave or not. Now we go to the next stage, and this one is very specific. The enemies are weak against magical attacks, and you have to bring mages here. I am using Anima String, and well, you don't really need to bring Stun Yun in here. She's my trainee on this case, but if you want to bring her in the back, it's very good since she has this Will Inhibitor too. She debuffs the will of the enemies. And if you have a Barthélemy max, it would be even better. I'm wearing the best equipments for mages with him. I have the Yukata here, and then I have the Stardust Robe, the Corral Comb, and the newest weapon that you can farm on the last stages with a full HP stone. My intelligence right now is 81, 83 is even better, but with Stun Yunzin, 81 will always one-shot, even less than this. But with 81 or 83, you can also one-shot without Stun Yunzin. I also have my Judy here because she can debuff the will by use of Psycho Noise. Just remember to get Dark Flare to more than 12 so that she do not use this on second wave if she does not attack on the first. And then lastly, we have the brothers. Polka and Liz are pretty nice here because Polka will kind of kill 2 targets, and Liz can use Dragon's Fury twice in a row. Well, even better if you can one-shot with Barthélemy. Okay, so the first enemies here, they have very close to 15k HP, and in order to kill them, Abaddon Hands will be enough. As you can see, very close to 15k. The second wave, you have one of them again, but this another enemy here, Dino Bubble, is super ultra strong. So Psycho Noise will debuff their will a little more, and then Scatter Explosions will be just enough to kill this enemy. It will be even better if Liz goes before Polka, because Polka will be better on this last wave. Now, Barthélemy will probably not have BP anymore, depending on if he triggered his passive or not. So, Dragon's Fury will kill one target now, and we'll need another turn to kill the other target. So I think that's how it works. Yeah, the enemy was dead before Liz. Then we have the next strategy. This one is not faster, it's slower, but you can bring two trainees here. Just bring Madeline in the front line and Barthélemy in the back alongside Liz. So the good thing here is that Tiger Shark will make all enemies attack Madeline more often than not. And we can still finish those enemies with Barthélemy on the back. And yeah, the good thing is that she kills the other target by herself. Okay. As you can see, we can finish the first and second wave with just those characters. Now the last wave will take a little more time. Sometimes Bart will not have this hit win, depends on his passive triggering or not. But the good thing is that because we have more Madeline on the front, she will not receive damage. Liz will also not receive damage. You have to remember that Liz negates ice damage. So what will happen is that on the next turn, we will be able to get Liz to attack again with Dragon's Fury. She will just finish this enemy. And there's no way to lose, because Liz will not receive damage. Well, it was Splash, forgot that she already used it twice. But yeah, this is like, I believe that's the best formation and best strategy to get new status, because you can bring two trainees here. So now I remove it, Barthélemy, and I will try to finish the first wave with Madeline alone. She needs to be very high level, like almost close to max. And that it's very good because we can get another spellcaster instead of Barthélemy. Barthélemy only helps on the first wave. So look. We even went before Madeline. But still work it. Now Polka will not have his Scatter Explosion again. At least not on this turn. The Dragon Fury is here, we kill it, one target. Now we only need to kill the last one. Remember, this strategy here needs a very developed Madeline. To kill this first wave, she needs at least level 47 or 48. This is also very good because it's hard to miss or lose by using this combination of characters. And now this last formation is more for fun than anything else, because we are using Dragoon Strike, so it increases intelligence, and we are bringing characters that can do elemental damage, but they rely on STR. As you can see, Galahad and Madeline on the middle, and then we have Final Emperor and the newest version of Albert here. Final Emperor will just keep using Holy Light, then he will just use Double Dark Blade. Even if he uses Double Dark Blade, the damage will still be good. And this new version of Albert will just keep using Victor Blade. So Yunjin is here to decrease will, and well, it's just a trainee slot, you can use anyone. So if Madeline goes first, she is able to kill the first wave by herself. How did Yunjin attack it first? Now it's time for Winter Storm for Galahad. Well, this combination of characters is a little fuzzy. I believe that sometimes one will attack before the another. And, well, it doesn't really matter. They can finish this farming just fine. Even if someone dies. Like, this attack is just so powerful that even if the enemy is resistant, it can still finish. Well, we need one more turn in the last wave because, yeah, you guys know, these enemies are super, super strong. And my last strategy is for those that don't have the past characters. We are using Narwal's daughter in the front lines. We are still using Bart here. He will attack first. And then we have Blue and Rouge with all of their skills fully awakened. The important ones are the last one and the second ones. And here in the back we just have someone to train. So how about our hands secure the first wave. Second wave we'll have the help of Narwal's daughter. So, ranging gust will do this moment. Now sometimes Bart will have, sometimes he will not. Well, this enemy is almost dead, very close to death. But we will still have to use another wave, another turn. Yeah. But it's still a very good strategy, I believe. 4 turns is not that bad. And now for the last stage, this one will have the highest cap in the game right now, but I don't think it's a good stage so far because there's a boss here, and this boss is very strong, can one-shot, can deal very high AoE damage. It's only weak against Slash, so Trainee, Blunt, Pierce, Sun, and Moon is possible, but the other elements are not. So let's talk about my strategy. So most strategies here will be better used with Dragoon Strike formation, because it increases STR of 4 units, and even more for the characters that are in the middle rows. So I have Gustave here alongside Ellen. If you have Final Empress, you have a better value here as well, because she can just use Moonlight. I prefer to use the Platinum Final Empress and inherit the Moonlight from her limited style. If you have this, will be good. And I also have my Asellus here on the front. She can negate damage sometimes, and then her damage is not so bad. And the best backline unit is this new Sophia, because she can increase the damage of one random character, and you can also inherit her healing spell. So even though there's a good formation and order of attacks here, even someone goes first then another, it still works. So Rosario and Peo with Asellus. Let's hope for a double crush. Nice. Oh no, Reverse Delta was first. I would prefer her to use her third skill on the second wave. The second wave, the enemies have very high agility. Sometimes you will just miss, even with maxed characters. That's pretty bad, actually. Rush Step will help a little, but no, you have to finish this boss fight in 3 turns at most. As you can see, 400 HP damage, and I can tell you that it was only 400 because we have Sophia. And she just died for the greater good. If the boss uses this 2 times in a row, you are probably dead. If you took some damage from wave 1 and wave 2, things start getting a little bad. But it still works. You see, it eventually works even someone dies. So the next strategy is fully offensive. We have 2 characters in the front that can help negate damage, Asellus and Madeline. And then in the middle we have Final Emperor. in global exclusive Katarina? Well, he can be also the bucket heel Gustave. I have Final Emperor with Flowering Blue inherited, so he can use this without losing too much BP. And in the back we have Byunei, and Byunei will have 360 Delta on 11, so that she do not start with this. So the good thing about this strategy here is that it doesn't really matter who goes first or last, as long as Byunei do not attack on the first wave. Now on the second wave, Byunei will be able to use her AoE attack. Her fast, very powerful Rising Earth. The good thing, Final Emperor, Double Dark Blade is still available for the last wave. This attack is, man, so much damage. Look at this damage as well. This is revenge. So next turn, we just win this. Yeah, it's done. It's pretty fast if you can bring those characters. You can replace some of them. You can just remove maybe Final Emperor, just get Gustave, or you can just bring Alan instead of one of those. Even instead of Asellus, you can bring Alan, and that should work most of the time. But it requires 5 units. You cannot bring someone to train here. I don't suggest you doing so. And with this strategy, we also finished this video. Thank you so much for watching this. If you want to support the channel, you can use the links on the description of the video. Don't forget to join our Discord server as well. We talk about romancing SaGa and a lot of other stuff there. We see each other on the next video. Bye.